Welcome to Monday, July 31st, 2023. Here we are, the last day of July. We start August tomorrow, and the good old monsoon, which is usually around late July, August timeframe, is certainly here. The monsoon moisture is going to be deep this week. We saw it around over the past 7 days, but the thunderstorm activity has been kind of scattered about. This is going to result in a more, let's say, cohesive thunderstorm pattern in the afternoon, evening, and some nighttime hours across the western high plains, both the east slopes, west slopes of the Rockies, and up in the mountains. There's also going to be a more northward shift of this monsoon moisture. So into central and northern Wyoming, into southern areas of Montana, eastern Idaho, parts of Utah, then into the Dakotas. The monsoon moisture, which doesn't always get pushed this far north, is going to. There is a heavy rain threat. Any of the thunderstorms that develop this week will have a lot of water to work with. So not every thunderstorm will produce heavy rain, but many will. And that'll be something to watch out for. Cooler temperatures will develop as well with the higher humidity air, with the additional cloud cover and rainfall in many areas. We're going to see that temperatures not going to be as warm. This will be especially true mid to late week. The high pressure dome is still going to be impressive, and there's still going to be oppressive heat in the southern plains, but underneath the ring of thunderstorms that will develop around the high will be some cooler temperatures. And some of these monsoon-driven thunderstorms leading to more just spectacular photos of both clouds, mammatus clouds, virga that we see here in this photo here, and then of course a lot of rainbows been seen around here lately as these late afternoon and evening thunderstorms catching up with the low sun angle, giving us some great rainbow scenes across the region. The morning satellite imagery shows the monsoon moisture very well around the high. Notice this area. This is heavy rain and thunderstorms in the deserts of southwest Arizona, and look at that, the deserts of California. This is cooling off the big heat in the southwestern United States. But just look at the trajectory of the moisture going around the high here. And yes, these green areas, these blue areas here, clusters of thunderstorms that continued into the evening and overnight hours. And there you can see it right there. You can see the heavy rain going into the deserts of California and southwestern Arizona. A mesoscale convective complex going across central and eastern Nebraska this morning, then across Missouri into Arkansas, then one up here in western and northwest areas of North Dakota. So it's very easy to see, like we saw in the satellite imagery, where that moisture is. There's the high. It's making it shift to the east. Today at noon, it's going to be over and just north of Dallas up into the Oklahoma-Texas border areas. So that door right here to that monsoonal moisture is wide open, and this is where it's going to have an opportunity to get pushed further north before it heads off to the southeast around the high. By Wednesday, it's still there. So we've got 3 solid days here of that high being further to the east. So there's easy access to this subtropical moisture coming on in. And here it is with the precipitable water. This is by noon today. So you can see in southwestern Wyoming, the Wasatch Front back into the deserts of Southern California. The axis of the deepest moisture is right there, then across the Dakotas and into the Corn Belt. It doesn't mean it rains everywhere underneath the green or blue, but if you do get a thunderstorm in that area, it'll be a gully washer. This is the risk of thunderstorms today. You can see the big horseshoe. Then the darker shaded green areas mean where the thunderstorms may be stronger. Heavy rain, possibly some hail, strong gusty winds. When you have a monsoon pattern like this, the jet stream winds don't tend to be very fast, so the thunderstorms don't move real quickly. That's why there's always that flash flooding potential. But the weaker winds aloft also maybe knock down the tornado risk some. It doesn't eliminate it, but you tend to have bigger problems with very heavy rainfall and hail in these deep monsoon situations. There's the deep Pacific moisture coming in, but also the moisture from the monsoon coming in as well. You can just see that ring. So there's going to be deep moisture overhead. There's your thunderstorm risk tomorrow. Front range area risk of some severe weather during the day on Tuesday. Very deep moisture in western Wyoming, Idaho, back into the Great Basin in that deep blue area here. You're talking about almost or more than 200% the normal amount of water vapor in the air for that time of year. And this time of year, there usually is monsoonal moisture in place. So that's where that risk of flooding with heavy rain thunderstorms in this situation is something to always watch out for. Like we talked about last week, late July and August is the peak season in the western United States for these flash flood situations. This is by Thursday. Now notice that I talked earlier about that northern shift of that axis of deeper moisture. It gets pushed pretty far north on Thursday before retreating back to the south. So the monsoon is going to have a further northward stretch and westward stretch as well by late in the week. Now this is through Thursday morning. So Thursday morning, here's your axis of heavy showers and thunderstorms right here up across North Dakota as well as that deeper moisture comes on through. Now this is through Thursday morning. By Thursday into Friday, this axis may be shifting more north up into Montana and northern areas of Wyoming as well. Then you can see western slope of Colorado, the Continental Divide. This is where you got to watch the burn scars. Recent forest fires over the last several years, those burn scars susceptible to flash flooding in the mountains, especially in Colorado and Wyoming. And into Utah, we'll need to watch out for that as well. New Mexico and Arizona, your chances of showers and thunderstorms will remain very high. Now, if we take that same image but go across the U.S., you notice where there's no precipitation, there's the high. So this is coming together as we discussed what may happen when we were talking about this high shifting east late last week. It's all coming together quite well. Now, let's take a look at temperatures. So still very warm. Underneath the high, really hot in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. And it's a little bit warmer than average across the west, but these little blue patches meaning that there's going to be showers and thunderstorms developing, knocking down temperatures a few degrees. This is by Wednesday. The cooler temperatures show up very well with where the thunderstorms are going to be. Hot, hot, hot here. That's where the center of the heat's going to be relative to average. Now, it's going to be pretty warm up into Montana, southern Saskatchewan, and Alberta as well. But with that monsoon shifting more north, they're going to cool off. By Saturday, notice where the high is now. It's starting to shift back to the west again. So we're going to see the high shift back to the west, but we're also looking at a pretty active jet stream up here in the northern latitudes pushing a little bit further south. So this will suppress the heat and bottle it back up in the southwestern United States again, although there will still be monsoonal moisture triggering those showers and thunderstorms down there. Look at these temperature anomalies by noon Saturday. So that deeper shift to the north brings cooler temperatures as well to the central and northern Rockies and northern plains by the weekend, while the heat continues to be bottled up in the south. Have yourself a good Monday. We'll see you tomorrow, the first day of August.